So you're telling me you guys don't have a favorite player on each team, eh?
Well, I mean, you're our
Oh,
favorite player
you're our favorite
because
player.
you're
Come
on the
on.
cap.
Yeah.
Let's be clear here.
Let's be clear. Yeah, we got a favorite player. Yeah. That's shooter night. It's shooter night. There you go.
Yeah.
It's you.
Welcome everybody to the IBL Inside Pitch. My name is Mark Pare, alongside Neil Srivastava. And first of all, just want to say thank you for everybody that has been supporting us in this venture. And we're getting into the nitty gritty. The season is getting ever so closer. The temperature is actually above freezing for the first time in a little bit. But in order to continue to support us, we just want to ask if you could hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. That helps our numbers get up there and helps us. It helps the algorithms, and we all
Yep.
know how important the algorithms are these days. So if you hit that like, you hit that subscribe button, whether it's on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts, it's going to go a long way. Just a little favor from us to you. Now, let's get into the nitty gritty of this latest episode and the big news coming from the telephone city of Brantford. And dare I say, Neil, that the Brantford Red Sox have lassoed themselves a brand new owner.
Leave.
Do you believe?
I do believe. Can you believe it? It's just it's been one of those things. The Brantford Red Sox, as I said to you last night in a text message, the Brantford Red Sox are going to get their Hollywood ending, and it's just it's great to see Terry Smith, who is an absolute legend. He is the actual living, breathing reason behind the Ted Lasso story. He was the inspiration for the story. Now it is the owner of the Brantford Red Sox. Of course, the major council for the Intercounty last night voting unanimously to agree to the transfer of the sale and everything else. And the sale went finalized this morning, and it got announced this afternoon. So the Brantford Red Sox have a brand new owner in Terry
Now,
Smith.
we've been harping on this for the last couple of months about, when is this going to get done? Is, Brantford even going to have time to, get all their ducks in a row ahead of a season and field a competitive team and sign the players that they need to sign ahead of time? Well, they have a new owner, and it seems like this is probably the best case scenario for them is, get a guy like Terry Smith into the fold, and a guy that has such a long history in sport, really, of, really do what he's done. I mean, just look up his name, and obviously you just have to watch the Ted Lasso series to really get a sense of what could be coming to the Brantford Red Sox.
Well, exactly, and it's just even just his initial news release and everything else. It was like a very, very, very positive influence on the industry. Like everything is just going to be, it's going to be a different experience. Everything else, they're working to build it, reestablish the ties to the community, reestablish the ties to minor baseball, minor softball, trying to make it, very, very. The players feel good about being part of this organization going forward too, as the message was coming out.
Now, do you feel like this could be just a 1 year to get this started and then have the slow rebuild? Or how quickly do you think this team, this franchise can kind of turn around from what it has dealt with the last few seasons
Well,
in terms of the record that they've had?
So I think what we have to make sure that people understand is so Cosmo Sports, who brokered the deal for the between the Red Sox and Terry Smith and everything else, they're going to be still involved. They're going to be doing a lot of the marketing, the promotions, the ticket sales, the concession stands, everything else. The baseball side is going to be a different party altogether. That party is not announced yet. It is coming in together. The person that I was talking to earlier, I can't say names because I said I promised I wouldn't say who it is and everything else, but it is out there. I think they were surprised I knew. So it's just like it was kind of like, how did you know? I was like, come on, like there's only certain people in our circle that could do this, and it's not me doing it. So it was just like,
Well, there's a reason why you're part of the inside pitch, right?
yeah, exactly. And it was just, yeah. So it was just like it's coming together. There's no formal announcement yet. There's no formal offer yet, but I would think in the next couple of days you're going to hear something. Something will come through, and then, like I said, he's already agreed to when it does come. When it does come to fruition and everything else, he's going to sit down with us and we'll chat. It'll probably be a couple of weeks away.
In an off season that has been full of headlines between the Kitchener Panthers sale, between Fernando Rodney signing with the Hamilton Cardinals, between Ayati Sato signing with the Toronto Maple Leafs to become the first woman to actually play a game in the IBL in its over 100-year history. I mean, the list goes on and on. This just adds to the big headlines that this league and its members have made in the last couple of months.
And I think it's definitely the proof is in the pudding. I think you're seeing the gravitational pull. It's not going to be as much as a semi-pro team or a semi-pro league in the next few years. I think you're definitely going to see it. I don't want to say pivot, but it definitely is pivoting that way, or we're definitely turning that direction. That it's going to be more of a professionally looking league within probably the next 2 or 3 years for sure.
How does this um, what does it mean in the long haul in terms of you're talking about the growth of the league, but maybe in your opinion, does this kind of set the stage for even more growth? And I allude to the possibility of having a 10th team in the league maybe in the next couple of seasons, and that in a growth in that way. What do you think?
I think definitely we're going to be definitely close, probably closer to 10. I would think realistically, if things go in the direction the way people have been saying in various circles and everything else, I would not be surprised you wind up with a 14 team league probably within the next 5 to 10 years. As far as everything else goes, I think people start realizing, hey, this how good of a secret this league's been for so long, and the directions it's heading, I think it's just going to continue to grow, and it's probably going to grow pretty rapidly.
Now, I don't want to start naming cities as potential destinations, cough, cough, Oshawa, um, Ottawa as well. But
Yeah.
there are some candidates that are out there in terms of potential destinations for IBL teams, and hopefully between you and I think that could also set the stage for the different division setup, and that could allow for the 14 team league where, say, let's just say Ottawa ends up coming into the league,
Yeah.
for example. You have that one trip to Chatham Kent a year, and vice
Vice versa.
versa
Yeah.
with some of these teams. So I mean, the travel won't be a problem once that second division ends up being put together potentially.
Exactly. And it's just, we don't want to put the cart before the horse, too. A lot of things still have to happen and everything else. Like, we still have to get to that point where it's, okay, the league collectively as a whole decides to go either we're going this way or we're going that way. If we go this way, okay, we've got to get more bodies in this league. We got to get more teams in this league because we got to make it more financially viable for players and to attract more players, too.
No, you're absolutely right. And I only allude to the the Ottawa to Chatham Kent, the travel whole thing, just in the sense of how does a 14 team league work in the grand scheme of things with a working man's league and all. But it's definitely going to be interesting to see what happens in the next few years and how big this league can potentially get. You talk about bodies. Let's stick in Brantford and Matt Fabian making some news lately.
Yeah, Matt Fabian got drafted by the Pioneer League. He's going to be playing for Dimitri Young in Colorado, I believe, this year. This year, as far as he was the 12th pick in their, I guess their spring training draft. So congratulations to Matt. I know his dad David is real happy for him too, and it's just great to see another kid that was one of those good stories that came out of nowhere. Nobody knew who he was, and then by the time he was leaving, everybody knew his name, and now he's off to play in the Pioneer League this summer.
You really like to see that kind of growth from players that come in so young and really make such an impact. And he was such a big impact player for the Brantford Red Sox a couple years ago, winning the Rookie of the Year, and just what he was able to do with the Red Sox organization. That let's just call a spade here. A team that floundered uh, when it came to the standings, but really, benefited from players like Matt to,
Mhm.
really not only draw out some fan support, but also get some of those key wins as well, and really, make some noise.
Exactly. And I think it's just you're going to see a lot more going forward with the Red Sox and everything else. I know Terry is not going to be one of the just okay. I own a baseball team. That's fun and everything else. He has a certain compete level he wants to be at. I'm sure just by you can just for everything every other level he's been at as far as everything else goes tells you that it's not going to be an 0-28 team. It's not going to be a 1-39 team. It's going to be a team that's going to go out there and they're going to work hard and try to challenge every night out there. Give you 9 innings of hell, as we used to say.
Well, Brantford is suddenly becoming such a destination city for sports. I mean, not only do we talk about Terry Smith and the Red Sox, but
Yeah.
as we have alluded to on a previous podcast, the Hyman family getting involved with the Brantford Bulldogs and buying that franchise. Things are really coming together in Brantford in a very, very big hurry.
They are, no question, they are.
Absolutely. Let's switch gears. We do have Ryan Rijo still to come on this podcast with the Barrie Baycats. They're looking for a second championship. The team they beat in that championship series, the Guelph Royals, they're continuing to add some pieces to their roster, including JD Williams and, of course, Garrett Takamatsu. And he ended up getting such a great send off. We didn't know, what 2025 was going to hold for Garton Mania after he ended up getting pulled from Game 4 of the championship series. So we gave him his flowers, deservedly so. The career that he has had in the IBL, you know, your heart breaks for a guy like that having to deal with that injury bug that's going to keep him out for the
Well,
2025 season.
no
We'll
question,
have
and
to
it's
see
just it's
what happens.
no question, and it's like Garton's. I've known him since he was a kid, so it's just like I've watched him come through. I watched him get drafted. I watched him leave. I watched him come back. I watched him battle some things off the field and everything else, and I was really worried what was going to happen with him. And then to watch him turn the page and everything else and have a new lease on life, a new love for his a love for baseball was renewed over time as well. And it was great to see him having a great time playing baseball. He was loving the game. He was loving life. He loved being at the park. He loved putting on the show for what it didn't matter which park he was in. It was in Chatham, it was in Welland, whatever else they'd find the most ridiculous walk up song for him in Welland. He put him out with the Baby Shark, and then 15 seconds later, I think he put the ball in somebody's backyard. So it happens, but it's one of those great stories.
It really is, and I'm so glad that you mentioned that because that really transitions very nicely into the next subject. You want to talk about hitting balls into backyards. Well, it's going to be tougher to do that in Chatham, Kent, with what they were able to pass recently at City Council. Let me just pull up what I got here. For the Chatham Kent Barnstormers, City Council approved a new fence around the perimeter of Fergie Jenkins Field. It will allow the ballpark to avoid vandalism and help the game day operations, and it's also going to help them put in some new seating there at that ballpark too.
That is, and it's huge for them. Of course, if you've ever been to Fergie Jenkinson Field and everything else, there wasn't a lot of seating. Of course, it was just because it wasn't designed for this. But now they've got the opportunity to put some additional seating down the right field line. The bullpens are actually moving from down behind the dugouts and everything else now to the outfield as well. So that'll give them some little more room and the players a little more privacy, as rather than just being right over the fence there, as far as where the fans can just harass them constantly or whatever else with the opposition pitchers. But it's going to be fun.
The
And of course,
Bushmen are going to
now
have to find a new location if they want to travel to Chatham
yeah,
Kent.
they're gonna have to relocate a little bit. Yes. I hope their Bushmen are okay too. Like they haven't really been making too much noise. It's still early. We're gonna have to check on those guys.
Yeah, if you guys are watching, let us know. Send us an email, iblinsidepitch@gmail.com, and heck, even come on the show.
By all means.
Yeah. Well, we're going to transition now to their favorite team, the Toronto Maple Leafs. And among the signings that we have seen in the last week, Ryan DeSantos re signing with the Toronto Maple Leafs.
The outfielder is back. He's back for his next season. Of course, he was an All-Star last year, and I think he's going to definitely be leading out a much different looking team for the Maple Leafs this summer. It definitely looks like every indication it's going to be a much younger, much more agile team, but they're still going to have some veterans in there can still put the ball out of the ballpark in a hurry. That's for sure.
And it's a small ballpark. We just for Inside Baseball, we recorded our interview with Ryan Rijo before we did this, and he talked about home runs. That's just a little bit of a sneak hint to what that conversation is going to bring. Some of those home runs might be coming in Christie Pitts because that is a short fence, and everybody knows it.
Yeah, well, exactly. It's just a matter of they've increased it. They've made it the Salazzle wall, but I guess they're gonna have to rename that wall now. So we'll have to see what they recall it now.
Hey, whenever John retires, whenever that is, he's still got a lot of power left that he's going to bring to the Hamilton Cardinals organization. But once he ends up, hanging up the cleats, maybe that's when the Maple Leafs decide to call that one the Salazzle wall once again.
Maybe again. You never know.
We move on now to the London Majors, and they also making some waves off the field. They got a new mascot. We actually figured out the mystery. The mystery of the oak or spruce tree with the London logo embedded into it. They have a new mascot, and they are looking for a new name for their new friend. And again, another mascot to add into the IBL fold.
And the mascot, yes, another goodwill game ambassador. That's another way to get the kids involved during the games too. And the last time I checked with Matt Hitchcock and everything else, they had like over 100 name suggestions already officially into the ballot box too. So that's pretty impressive for the Forest City.
Absolutely. You have a name you'd like to pitch in, or?
I think I came up with something. I was thinking more of like a Bigfoot or something, but I couldn't really come up with a name for it. But I kind of like Forest because it's the Forest City too. But it's again, you don't want to go Forrest Gump, but Forest sounds good, or something with a tie into the majors or something back that harkens back to the team's history would be kind of cool too.
They might have to get a sponsorship for this one. Well, I mean, it's the name of the ballpark, but maybe go a little French. La Batte. La Batte.
That works too.
Yeah.
La Batte. All right. Might want to write that one down and set it off the mat.
He's watching this. He knows.
We know. Yeah.
Other than that, I don't really have too much else on the list. Ryan Rijo is on the other side after this. Neil, do you have anything else to unload? Do you have any Festivus givings for us here on this March evening?
I think we're okay for now. I think we're resting comfortably. Of course, I've had a busy week off doing a lot of interviews for various other things, so there'll be lots of content pulling up on the IBL website in the next couple of days too. So keep watching for that stuff.
Absolutely. Well, before we go to break, just to wrap up the London topic, if you are looking to put your name suggestion in, you go to londonmajors.com/mascot-name. So once again, londonmajors.com/mascot-name, and you'll be able to put in your suggestion. And who knows, your name could be the new name of the London mascot, who is very burly, big beard, got the plaid going. I gotta say, I'm impressed. I'm waiting and hoping that we get some other mascots in the league, the ones that are missing at this point, and maybe we end up with one of those, hey, all-star game, let's get all the mascots together, and they have to run the outfield and do a race.
That may be interesting.
Just throwing in some entertainment. What can I say? I'm a fan of entertainment.
Exactly.
Anyway,
make sure we add that to the list of things.
Absolutely. Ryan Rijo on the other side of the break. Stay with us. Hello, friends. Mark Pare here from the IBL Inside Pitch. And, often I get asked, between covering the Kitchener Panthers, between calling games for the Guelph Royals, the London Majors, you name it, I've called games for quite a few teams in this league for the last few seasons, and people ask me the question, how are you able to keep track of
all of the stats, all of the storylines, everything that happens in the IBL that you can put on these quality broadcasts day after day after day. Well, quality is still kind of questionable, maybe to some people, but the fact of the matter is I keep up to date, and I have one quick secret for that. It's the IBL website, of course, theibl.ca. It is your home for everything IBL, whether it's storylines, stats, scores, and much more. Visit the IBL website at theibl.ca, and don't forget to download the IBL app on Apple.
Welcome back to the IBL Inside Pitch. Joining us now, well, he put a ring on it last fall, and he's looking for a repeat this coming season. From the Barrie Baycats, the former Philadelphia Phillies prospect, Ryan Rijo, joining the show. Ryan, how's it going?
What an introduction. Wow. That's awesome. Oh, I'm doing well. I'm just we're getting ready for the season now. Had my first we've been practicing for a month, but I finally showed up this past Saturday. So it was my
You
first
finally
debut.
showed up.
Yeah, so I took February off. That's my month. It's my birthday's in February. It's my birth month, as the kids say now. So
Yeah.
I took February off. But no, it's been good. I'm excited for this upcoming season. Of course, we got the ring. Got to flash that thing, eh?
Of course. Oh, look at that beauty.
Josh already did it when he was on here with you guys. What was it, a month or so ago?
Yeah, he
Josh
flashed it, but I didn't really mention it too much because it was just it was kind of a sore spot at the time too.
Were you just trying to? You didn't want to rub salt in the wound, eh?
No.
Or for the other people that might be watching.
Yeah, to the other ones, yes.
No, everything's doing well, and no, I appreciate what you guys have been doing for the league. I know you guys have been taking over, and Neil, you're running, like you were telling me, you're running the socials. You guys are doing a great job. So it's anything that grows the league, I'm always a big fan of. So you guys are doing awesome.
I appreciate it. Well, we're a big fan of you. You're going into your 8th IBL season, it looks like, and where does the time go, man?
I don't know. I don't know when I became the Grizzly vet on this team. It seems like Atkinson and DeGrace on my ass chirping me for being the rookie, and now I'm going after all these young guys. But no, it's been a blessing. Honestly, it's awesome. I wouldn't trade anything for the career I've had so far. So, honestly, it's been awesome.
So you've actually been through both 10-0s in the playoffs now. You're one of the probably the only few people that actually been through that.
Yeah, I that was my first or second year. I think it was my second year. Right, if I'm not, it was the bat flip year, wasn't it?
Yep, that was the bat flip year. Yep. That bat flip keeps coming up in the highlights. Yeah.
Yeah, that was my second season, I think. So yeah, 1-4, part of the 2 10-0 runs. It's been pretty good. I've been lucky. I've been what was that guy that used to play for Golden State and came to the Raptors? He, like, any finals he's been to, he won a ring. That's how I felt at the beginning, and then we lost to Welland last 2 years ago. But yeah, I was lucky. I came and just got blessed to be around all those guys that had a winning culture. So they taught me a lot, and I feel like I was able to bring it to this now team, right? So I had a little bit of a success, quick turnaround, honestly. I think from 2020, 2021, 2022 season to last year. 2 years ago, losing to now being able to hoist it again. I think it's been a pretty good comeback. It's been awesome. It's awesome to be a part of.
Absolutely. September 14th, 2024. You guys get the victory in Guelph. You celebrate on the field. What was that bus ride like back on the way to back to Barrie that night?
I don't know if I can discuss.
Do you remember most of the bus ride? That's the other question.
All I know is whoever, any of the boys listen to this Baycat wise, they'll know Funny made an appearance. We have a team funnel. His name's Funny, but he's all he's not a funny guy. He's all business, right?
Yeah.
But he definitely made an appearance. He's been all over the world. Came to the Dominican with us on on both trips to the Dominican, actually. And now he's an IBL champion too. But no, that bus ride was awesome. My one special thing, my cousin Nick, he was able to be on the bus with us, and he's a big Baycat fan. He comes to most of our games, and he was able to be there on the field with us, take photos, and that was fun to have a few beers with the fellas in the back. So that was special for me. But the bus ride back. It's when we got off and went to my buddy Cooper's shop. It's called Craig's Trading Company downtown Barrie. Bus stops. We get off with the trophy. It's probably 1:45 a.m. and the Queen's nightclub's open for 15 minutes. Josh was like, we got to make an appearance because they're one of our sponsors. So we could pop in. We host it, chug some beers out of it, flip around. The bar's closed now, so we go to my buddy's shop, and he hosted a big party for us. And I think we were there till like 4 or 5 a.m.
Yeah, because I think I was still getting text messages from various people, you, Matlow, and everybody else. It was just like I sent messages at like 11, going, okay, they'll get them to tomorrow. Like I looked at my phone, and going, what the heck are they still up for?
Yeah, that trophy's seen some things now. I think it's done.
Oh, it's seen things in a lot of places, so don't feel bad.
Yeah, from mine and Jenna's golf tournament for our wedding to garage, the parties at garages, Super Bowl parties. This thing's been everywhere, so it's been fun to have, and I don't think I want to give it up anytime soon. It's fun.
Yeah. Well, I know when I did the state of the franchise with Josh and everything else, it was in the background. I'm just like every time I see it, I don't want to touch it because I've never been on a team that's won it, so I don't want to be near it. It's like it's in the same room and everything else. Ted tried to bring it up to the press box before Game 4. I'm like, no, don't bring that thing anywhere near here. Just don't do it.
No, it's almost like the Stanley Cup, right? You don't want to touch it unless you won it, right? So it's probably honestly it's one of the coolest trophies around. I mean, all my buddies that have seen it drank out of it.
Yep.
They're all like, it's a sick trophy. I mean, for what, like, I don't know, for it not being a fully professional league, like it's one of the sickest trophies I've ever got to host, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The Stanley Cup, we see all the championship celebrations, day with the cups and all of this, and we see some weird things get put inside the cup, whether it's salads, poutine, babies. What's one of the weirder things that may have gone into this cup this past off season?
This past off season, I don't. I mean, a ton of different kinds of alcohol. I'll say that.
Yeah,
like,
that's a given.
I think Audie forced me to put some Pink Whitney in there, and I chugged half a bottle of it. I think I heard a story of someone eating a bowl of cereal. I don't know who it was. A bowl of cereal out of it. So,
hey, it might have been his night to do the dishes, and it was the only thing clean, so I get it.
Yeah, I don't know who did the cereal. May or may not have been me, but Captain Crunch. That's a go-to. Captain Crunch.
Captain Crunch. All right.
Okay, everyday Captain Crunch kind of thing, or you vary it up?
One with the Crunch berries.
Yeah, you don't get a figure like this eating Captain Crunch every day.
Some Lucky Charms, maybe some Golden Grams, or
you gotta mix it up. Some Fruit Loops aren't bad, but Lucky Charms are a go-to. They're a staple too, I gotta say. Or Reese. Do you say Reese's or Reese's Puffs?
Oh, Reese's.
Reese's, yeah.
Okay,
Reese's,
cool. Yeah, I
some people say Reese's, but I'm like, no, it's Reese's.
It's Reese's. It's always been Reese's.
Everybody say Reese's, and I'm like, no, it's Reese's.
The Americans are wrong.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah. Blame the Kelsey brothers for that one.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, blame them. Yeah. Dang. But yeah, I mean, yeah, no babies or anything. Babies in the cup. Well, I don't know. Plumpy's got kids. Maybe I don't know what he did with his.
No, but we'll have to ask him at some point.
Plug the baby in, take a photo, plump it right back out.
No babies over here yet. So
let's get the wedding first out of the way. Let's get you guys settled first, and then then you work on that in the off season next year, okay? So Jenna's sitting beside him, by the way, just so you know. So she's probably dying over there going, why did they bring me into this?
Ryan, for yourself, what are some of the things you're looking to accomplish, maybe check off the checklist this upcoming season, minus obviously winning another championship?
Individually speaking?
Yeah.
I mean, what have I done? the RBI thing was really cool a couple years ago.
Yeah.
But like personally, I'd like to maybe. I haven't led the league in home runs yet. We'll go with that. I want to lead the league in home runs this year. That's a personal goal of mine. You know, and if I can do it, like I was telling Neil earlier, with all the weddings going on mine, I'm a part of another one. I'm part of Adam Odd's wedding group and bachelor party. I'm probably going to be I'm not going to be in as many games as I have been in the past. So if I could lead make it count when I'm there, if I could lead the league in home runs once, that'd be pretty cool accomplishment. And it's always been something I've wanted to do. So maybe we'll see a dip in the average to see the power numbers go up a bit.
All right.
Yeah.
We keep this.
Hey, it's worked out for some people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you feel at points last year you felt like you were pressing too hard to hit that home run or everything else? Because I know you had a lot of strikeouts last year, which is not like you as far as that numbers, but everything else. But it just seemed like it was an off year for you at the plate. And of course you were in and out of the lineup too a lot because weddings and work commitments and everything else. It just seemed like a lot of guys in that lineup didn't really hit their stride till postseason, anyways. And then you guys just went crazy.
Yeah. That first half, I think I got a little too hot at the beginning. Even I was seeing the ball really well at the start, and then we switched to bomb bats for the first time last year. All of us as a team, that played a little bit to it. Playing around with different weights, things like that, and then I don't know if you look at my second half stats into the playoffs. That's kind of that's the hitter like I know myself as, and you guys probably seen me in the past be. But at the end of the day, like it's baseball. It's one of those things. Like I'd rather the team collectively succeed than just myself, right?
Yeah.
And having people step up, it does make others around you have to step up, like the Macabrotas. I mean, Hernandez speaks for himself. That guy, probably one of the best players I've ever had the privilege of stepping on the field with. And it puts, it makes it so I feel less pressure because I have those guys around me. And once we got Hernandez, and I just also felt like you were saying, not everyone hit their stride. You look at the season before when I did the RBI, right? So the Baycat RBI, I always had people on.
Yeah.
I felt this year at the beginning, at least, no, I was leading off a lot of innings. I had nobody on base. So I don't know. Like you look at me, I'm kind of useless if I hit a single unless there's someone on, right? Like I'm kind of useless. So you do press a little bit, right? Like how can I contribute? Maybe I got to hit a solo home run. And do I think about that in the moment? No, but maybe subconsciously things like that do creep in the back of your mind. But overall, I think after sitting down with Matt Lowe and Andrew White, our third base coach, and them saying, I remember we went to lunch one day and they literally said, "Dude, you're Ryan Rijo. You're not coming out of this lineup. You're gonna figure it out." And Whitey just kept saying that. Andrew, like told me, he's like, "Dude, you're the least of my worries. You're gonna turn it around." And we did that, right? And I don't know the stats exactly. I don't really keep track of my stats, but the second half was a lot better. I think like substantially better, right? So and it all clicked at the right time. You see that in the playoffs, we go on that run, everyone's clicking, and that's kind of how things happen. You look at the St. Louis Blues when they won their cup, they were just went on a tear at the end there to even qualify for the playoffs, and it just keeps going. Once something snowballs, and especially in a game like baseball that is momentum forward, I want to say it does. If you can swing things your way and just keep the ball rolling, it snowballs in a good way or a bad way. Go either way.
Absolutely. It feels like this team, it's more complete. It's more of a complete team that I've really ever seen before, really, with the way that you guys especially hit your stride on offense later on in the year. But I look at that pitching staff that you guys have, it's insane. I mean, everybody was sub 3 for their ERA throughout the season. I think you guys didn't hit above 4 for an ERA all season long as a team. What do you make of what you guys were able to accomplish just in terms of the completeness of the team and what you guys have cooking really up for next season, because most of these guys are coming back.
Whenever you have Frank Garces on the mound, you have a chance to win.
Yeah.
that's self-explanatory. But what Rosado did and how he can be effectively wild at times,
Mm-hmm.
that plays a big thing too. I mean, as a batter, you have one buzz by your head at 96.
Yeah.
You bust out that slider at curve. He has two. He has a slider and his curveball. You don't know what to do. And I don't think he is wild. I think he chooses his spots to be wild.
Yeah.
Right. And it's very effective. You look at Juan Benitez, and I think he's debatably probably the best three.
Yeah. Oh, no question.
Right. In the IBL. But having those guys, there are workhorses, and they set the tone really. And then, having the big guy coming out to close, except when he's picking off the second base.
You're never gonna let him live it down, are you?
He's shut down. It's intimidation. It's just like Wellen with Davey Mendez.
Yeah.
You have those guys come out. It's like you almost know the game's over, right?
Yeah.
But pitch. You know what they say: pitching and defense wins you games, right? Wins you championships. You can have all the offense in the world, but you have those guys that can close it down and hold it down and give you the innings that you need when you need it. And if it's all timed right, you see what happens. Like that's kind of everything just fell perfectly for us, right? Everything clicked at the right time. The stars aligned, and you see what happens. But you have Frank on the mound, you get a chance. That guy could be 6 years old. I'd still have him go out there, but he'd still do the same thing.
Yeah. So how excited are you guys? I guess you honestly, are you excited to face Fernando Rodney at the first opportunity you're going to get in Hamilton when you guys come in there? I'm guessing you're definitely going to make the trip up for that one because I don't know if he's going to travel or not. We'll see. But as far as I know, Eric said he's going to be going to all the games too. So it's going to be, but I think he's going to be, it's just still you get a chance to face against a major league legend out there.
No, that's cool. I remember watching him growing up as a kid, right? And I mean, I've watched videos of him the past couple of years. I think wasn't he playing in Mexico?
Yep.
Or something. He's still got it. He's still bringing it at however old he is, 45, 40. I don't know what it is.
He's
but
48 right now. He's turning 49.
48.
Yeah.
There you go. It's definitely going to be good. Do we know, is he going to be starting or closing?
As far as I know, he's going to probably be their 8-9 guy. As far as that goes, they're going to hand the ball off to him, so they got to be in the lead. Or
they got to have the lead, right?
Yeah.
So, hopefully, I'll say that I want to face him. Hopefully, we don't have to. Hopefully, we have the lead. But if need be, it's going to be a little bit different in Hamilton than their normal guys, right? So,
yeah.
You have Rodney go 8-9, and it's special. The stuff's so electric. So, hopefully, I'm on the better end of it, and I can hit him with one of those.
I'll try not to laugh too hard from the press box when that happens.
You see weirder things before from me, so no, but it's awesome. Like I told you guys are doing a great job with what you're doing, growing the league. I think this helps grow the league too. Us bringing in people like Willie Garcia too, another big leaguer. Like It just is really growing our league and making it trend in the right direction. So I'm a big fan of whatever grows us as a league, right?
If you're a young kid,
what helped?
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Mark.
What helped you grow as a youngster? I mean, 2018, you get drafted by the Phillies. You end up in their system. What maybe was some piece of advice that you ended up getting that you still carry into your game to this day?
What I tell a lot of the young guys, like even like Noel McGarry-Doyle is going through it, and Noah Hall, all these guys, whether they go play pro or for a lot of kids too, baseball's gonna come to an end. Like I'm one of the lucky ones that I still get to play IBL and it's competitive. The big thing that was told to me is a lot of the time, like in high school, we let baseball define us as a person, right? I know baseball was my identity. So the biggest thing, like I've told Noel, if it doesn't go your way, like obviously we want you to get drafted. We want you to go be the biggest star that can be. But to me, you're always going to be Noel, right? You're not going to be, you're Noel McGarry, the person, not the baseball player. Like I love you for you, not because you play baseball. And that's the biggest thing I had to deal with too, was when came time was how do you separate real life from baseball, right? Because it all comes to an end. But that was the biggest thing I was told was I don't let baseball define who I am. My success in baseball, my failures, it doesn't define who I am outside of the game. Once the ninth inning's done, I'm back. I'm Ryan.
I guess who is Ryan, if you will, if you don't mind me asking.
Who is Ryan? Funny, I'm still the same guy you guys see on the field. I'm goofy. I like to have fun.
Yeah.
Funny you said like growing up. I still haven't grown up. Like, you know, in my career in insurance, I'm still the same guy. I take that to my job too. I think one of the biggest characteristics you can have is just being genuinely yourself, and I'm always genuinely who I am. I don't try to be something I'm not. So what you see is what you get. And quite whether you like it or not, I'm still going to be me.
Exactly.
That's fantastic. That's a really good way to end this, Neil, unless you have anything else.
No, that was it. Like I know we're going to see him a lot this summer, so hopefully not going to see too many home run trots in the opposition parks. But that's okay because, you know. But apparently you got a new scoreboard in Kitchener coming, so you got something you can aim into if you want to go to the opposite field this year. So yeah.
Tell you what, my bachelor party is May 29th. We play Kitchener on the Sunday.
Oh boy.
I'll be coming back, and I'm gonna go play in that game, and I'm either gonna go 0 for 5 with 5 Ks or 5 for 5 with 5 home runs. So we'll see how that goes.
We'll see how that goes. There's no in between. It's just gonna be one way or the other.
One or the other, gentlemen.
What you're telling me is get the Fisherman's Friends ready because I'm gonna blow my voice out calling all of these homers that day.
I'm telling you, it's going to be a fun one to watch either way. I think I'm bringing my whole bachelor party coming to cheer me on our drive home. So, yeah, we'll see how that one goes. But make sure you tune into that one. I think it's June 2nd. It's a Sunday. Whatever, we're May 29th to June. I think it's June 1st. Yep. June 1st. Tune into that one because I'm either stumbling back to the dugout or stumbling around the bases. We'll see.
That's awesome.
I love it. Well, Ryan, thanks again for joining us, and all the best coming up in the new IBL season.
Thanks, fellas. Thanks for having me.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Ryan.
it.
Well, congratulations. You made it. You made it to the end of the latest episode of the IBL Inside Pitch. We thank you so much for the support. It means a lot to Neil and I, truthfully. The one thing that would mean so much to us as well is whether you're on Spotify, whether you're on Apple, whether you're on YouTube, hit that like, hit that subscribe button, get those numbers up for us as well. Get us higher up in the algorithms. That's so even more of you can enjoy this program and enjoy even more chatter about the Intercounty Baseball League. Again, Spotify, Apple, YouTube, wherever you are watching or listening to this, hit that like and subscribe button, and we will see you soon.